Okay, moving right along. This is going to be a condensed version of what we had envisioned, the poster session and networking. I've seen you all networking, so we don't need to do networking. Lynn is going to do the poster session, but you all have seen the posters back there, and they are also available or will be available on the Symposium website. So thanks for listening in.
So good afternoon, and you're all hanging in there. Thank you. So I want to talk to the celebration, if you will, and also a recruitment. So part of the celebration is to celebrate that this actually happened, and Charlotte and Tim, Steve and Peter, and all the other leadership that set this up, congratulations. For our activity, I inherited the student awards project, if you will, the quote profit out of the symposium from last year gets spent on awards to students to do travel or to do something with their research project. And we were able to make 6 awards off of last year of $1,000 each. And I'd like to do a quick review of it. And we had a couple of our students here earlier who have real jobs, I think, or kids, whatever, have exited, but I still want to give them a shout out. So let's start with Adeline Burke, University of South Florida, PhD student. Her award was spent for travel support to her project in Madagascar, where she was looking at the dissolution of lead from hand pump wells and trying to do training on how to avoid that so that the solution for water supply was not the problem. Emma Chapman at Colorado School of Mines is a master's student in engineering. Everybody's an engineer there. But humanitarian engineering program. And she visited her hometown, Portland, and did a survey of homeless water sources and sanitation practices as part of her master's work. Kelly Andres, earlier we had in the breakout session that I moderated with the folks from Johns Hopkins, Christine Marie George was the faculty. Kelly's one of her students who on the American Indian project in South Dakota did statistical assessment of the use and penetration of the under-sink water filters and some wrinkles with that intervention. A master's student. Leslie Garola is here in Denver. They have an arrangement with, this is University of Northern Colorado Center for Urban Education, which is actually located here in Denver. They have an arrangement with a couple of not-for-profits in Peru for teachers, and Leslie is an kindergarten teacher who just graduated last year, but COVID, we're all on a different schedule with COVID, and is now teaching kindergarten. But to go down for an environmental learning experience and health and wellness experience in the upper Amazon of Peru. Just exciting story she tells. Itzy Kenny is a master's student at University of South Florida. The award went to support travel for her to go to Cambodia and look at how they're managing or trying to manage open defecation in these floating cities in Cambodia. And the technology is called a handy pod, which is kind of a floating septic tank and biofiltration system news. And finally, Kim Renderos is also at the Center of Urban Education and visited the Peru experience and got involved with looking at how they're implementing water treatment systems, sand carbon filtration systems for small communities in the Upper Amazon. And she's also poised to graduate in May and will become an elementary school teacher somewhere here. So exciting experience. Now, the recruitment part is this year's symposium, which looks to me to be a tremendous success. So I think we're going to have some resources to award student awards of this sort and want to urge you and students who are listening or are here to make application. And you can find the point of contact for the application in the WASH 22 webpage. And it takes 15-20 minutes if you figured out what you want to do. And then we'll consider that. It's open until the end of the month, 31st. And then we've got a committee of esteemed individuals who will decide who gets awarded given the resources that we have. So I want to encourage that. And while we're on the topic of posters, Chris Rosel has got a poster back here, and want to put out a shout out to Chris and his work, and he's going to be talking later. I'm not sure it's the same topic, but the same famous guy. And then again, the poster or the topic that I mentioned earlier on the benefits assessment, I just want to reaffirm that the work you're doing is worth it in real and imputed dollars, not counting, it's all an underestimate, community well-being that is more difficult to quantify in monetary terms. So that's the posters. Great job by the students. It's been just a tremendous amount of fun to herd the cats, to get them to write it down and just stand up and take a bow. Thanks very much.